Hi YouTubers, once again, welcome back. It's me with your expert on nutrition, Amina, and she will be talking about nutrition as a lifestyle. This is something that is very important if you want to live a healthy life, but it's important that you hear it from the horse's mouth. So Amina, to you now, we want to live a healthy lifestyle. We want to get out of everything that we've been doing. I believe that at the end of the day, everybody wants to live a healthy lifestyle. And with that, I'll give you an example. My mom is a very heavy person. And I remember growing up, I was always told that I would be like my mom. That's what I was told. It stuck in my mind. I kept on telling myself, I don't want to be like my mom because I know what she goes through. Because even the time I was a teenager, I could see her weight kept on increasing from the time when we were children. Her weight just kept on increasing and increasing and increasing. And right now it's at a terrible state where she has all these diseases and all. But even during that time when I was a child, and people used to tell me that even your mom was your size when she was growing up. But when you grow older, you're going to become like her. I just kept on saying, no, I cannot be that. Such that I remember even when I reached around 18, 19 and I was still small, they were like, when you have your first child, then you... So it's like they always told me that I would be like that. And I kept on saying, no, I will not be like that. And somehow I started doing things. I don't even know how I did them because nobody told me. But I just started doing certain things that I think have contributed to my weight not blowing up, since it's something like it's supposed to be genetic in my family. So how would you, I know personal will is something that is important, but how would you encourage somebody? What do you have to say to somebody that needs to live a healthy lifestyle as a matter of importance?
Matter of importance. I would say, like we discussed before, that you shouldn't underestimate small changes. And as a blanket to give everybody like just general advice, there are small things that we can put into place, like trying to consume 5 fruits and vegetables a day. Every day, try and have 5 different fruits and vegetables a day. If you have 2 bananas, it doesn't count as 2, that's still 1.
Really?
It has to be different.
Really?
Yes, because the more variety that you get, the more nutrients that you get.
Oh.
Yes. So that's my first step. Try and consume 5 fruits and vegetables.
Different
fruits and vegetables a day. Yes. That is the beginning to building your body's strength and your immunity and getting as much variety of nutrients as possible.
Okay.
So that's the first step I would say. Try and have 5 fruits and vegetables a day. The second one, which I think is extremely important, is to minimize, if you cannot completely avoid, try and minimize your consumption of processed foods. So that's any food that comes in a packet. Any food that you see that comes in a packet is not real food. It's processed, it's manufactured, it's not a whole food. So like, for example, an apple you can eat from the tree as an apple. But if you had a Snickers, that's like 7 different ingredients that have been added with salt and sugar and chemicals, molded into a shape and put in a packet. So that's processed food. So try and minimize, if you cannot completely avoid, try and minimize your intake of processed foods. Any food that comes in a packet. Your food should be fresh from the tree or the farm to plate as possible.
Okay, now when you say that, now we have a habit where most people will buy food maybe once in a week and they will put it in the fridge. How does that affect the nutrients in that food, especially for fruits?
Fruits and vegetables, refrigerating them or cooling them doesn't affect their nutrients, but overcooking them does.
Overcooking them does.
If you cook a vegetable to the point where it changes color, like I've seen many greens that have become brown, you've changed the nutrients and it's no longer as valuable.
It doesn't count.
Yes. So you need to cook them to keep the color. If you overcook them and the color changes, you're changing the nutrient balance. And actually, vegetables are best consumed raw.
Okay.
Yes.
You're asking me to eat raw broccoli?
Yes.
Raw broccoli.
I know it sounds extreme, but they're best nutritious when they're raw. As the more you cook them, the nutrient value decreases. Yes. So of course I'm not telling you to go and eat raw broccoli, but steam it for a short time. Don't don't steam it for like an hour, or don't leave it on the stove for an hour until it loses its color and it becomes limp. It should stay bright in color and should have a crunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to change something right there.
Yeah.
All right. Then when you say you have to incorporate all these things in there, because you see, I thought that if somebody ate like if I had bananas today, then maybe I have an apple, I'm giving my body what it needs. So it means that that does not give me the required nutrients. I will not have hit my mark.
No.
They have to be specifically 5 different.
Yes, because there's no one fruit or vegetable that has everything that you need. So for example, spinach is very high in iron, but it doesn't have vitamin B3. Whereas bananas are high in potassium, but they don't have vitamin E. But you need vitamin E, you need vitamin B3. So if you're just having a banana, you think, my banana that I had today is enough for me, you're missing other things that you possibly need. So when you have a variety, you're increasing the lottery of nutrients in your body.
Yeah, I remember after I met you, there maybe our audience needs to take note of this. I remember you telling me something that you can actually continue to eat the things you've been eating, but cooking them differently and using different ingredients. I remember that time my children love pancakes, my children love chapatis. So what I did, I moved from the normal flour that we usually use, how do you call it? That normal...
The white flour, processed flour.
Yes, the processed one. I found that there was... that's when my eyes were open to the varieties that are out there. And I think most parents suffer from this because we are so attuned. We are so attuned to certain things because we've grown up eating this. The normal flour that I have bought, maybe like the brands that we sell here on our market are maybe X or Azam or whatever. So we focus on those specific brands, and you never think about any other alternatives. But I remember I deliberately, and I think this is where parents need to be really intentional. If you want to change your children's health, even your own health, you have to be intentional about nutrition. Because what I did was go to the supermarkets and now look for whole grains. Whole grains. I found that there was actually whole wheat flour. It was very available, and it's what most Indians use for their... It's actually in the supermarkets. But because it's, I think our mindset is that this is Indian food, it's used to... So actually we eat our chapatis, but we use different flour. We moved from using, it's not that we stopped using cooking oil, but we moved from the normal cooking oil that we were using and moved to olive oil and sunflower oil. So it's just, as she said, it's just about making small changes. I remember I used to buy, of course this is again to you YouTubers, it's about the changes or the small things that you can make in your life that will actually change your nutrition and your entire lifestyle. I remember the things that I used to buy in my house, you know, like mom asks for a list and you do a list. And of course you've given the children the liberty. And I think parents need to look at that very critically. You've given your children the liberty to make a list. So of course children have this tooth. They love sweet things, they love oily things. So my children actually forced me, they forced me, but I willingly, because I went along with it. I had to buy a deep fryer, which was absolutely unnecessary. I bought a deep fryer. I used to buy sausages, I used to buy bacon, I used to buy frankfurt. It's like these were the things that you would, on a weekly basis. To the extent that more or less, most parents, your house has become like a typical fast food restaurant.
It's true.
A typical fast food restaurant. Because my children, I remember their breakfast, actually they would have sausages, maybe have even fries. And that's breakfast for a child going to school in the morning. You can imagine you've already killed her with all this that you are giving her. But after meeting you, the first thing that we did, do away with the deep fryer. Hang it somewhere in the pantry where nobody can get it. And remember, it's me who buys the stuff. So I stopped. I don't buy such things in my house. When we are to eat them, I'll take them out. Because I remember one thing that you also said to us is that you don't, it's not that you shouldn't eat them, but eat them in moderation.
Yep.
So what I did with my children, we have once in a week, in a month, where we spoil ourselves, actually eat ice cream, eat French fries, do everything.
Even I have a day.
You have a day.
Yeah, I have a Snickers day.
So we have that day where we just spoil us. Sometimes we might end up even doing it twice in a month. I think it just depends on how you really feel.
Yeah.
Because there are times when my kids just like, Mom, today we want to eat ice cream, and it's a weekend, and you're like, okay, but you don't do it with the frequency that you used to do it before. And one other thing, I know you said small changes. One thing that I did that was so drastic was stopping sugar. When you explained the effects of sugar, and to you all parents out there, the sugar that you give, that we give our children, the soft drinks, the sodas that we are giving our children are terrible, terrible, terrible. So stop giving your children, and it will not kill them. Because I remember when I stopped giving my children sugar, I think they refused to take tea, and I said, I'm not changing. I think for 2 weeks they were taking water. I said, I am not changing. That sugar was given away. I removed, after meeting you when I went back home, that because that's how bad it is. Remember, I had told you, I looked at my children, their bodies had really changed. The bodies that they were carrying were not for their age. My 9-year-old daughter, her breast had started, and she was so uncomfortable when she would go to the swimming pool. And what's amazing, she was the youngest in her class. She was the youngest in her class, but she would feel uncomfortable putting on her swimming costume. So I realized that I had to do something very drastic. And with those things, okay, sometimes, of course, the adults, because I told them this is especially for these young ones. For you, the adults, you can do as you want. So for them, sometimes once in a while they buy sugar, but I don't buy it for them. I don't. So when they have their allowances, they can buy their own sugar. But I said sugar is a no-no in my house. And the kids have adjusted. Interestingly, they have adjusted. We stopped even the juice. We don't put sugar in our juice. And now we have actually transitioned into where we eat our fruits. I've even cut down on the juice. I'm like, let's just eat our fruits. Eat your apples, eat your oranges, eat the passion fruits, eat the pineapples. So we are doing less of juice and more of eating the fruits. So just like you said, eat them when they are whole, when they are fresh, and you will get more from it. And right now, if you look at my kids, when we come for the review, you will see them. And you know what is actually amazing? I realized the importance and the power of what goes into our bodies. Because from the time it's not that they really exercise. They don't, actually, they don't. Other than riding their bikes around, remember we've been in the lockdown, so no swimming, no nothing. So it's basically just riding their bikes once in a while. But they have drastically changed. My daughter's, my 9-year-old daughter, I think she was around 55 kilograms. My younger one was around 40. And you know, you would look at their bodies and you'll see that it's something like they were puffed up. It's not normal weight, but it's like this puffed up body. But there has been a tremendous change, and all thanks to you. Well, our YouTubers, thank you for watching. In our next video, watch Amina as she talks to us about obesity. Obesity is something that is claiming most of our children, and of course it has not left the adults behind. But you and I, especially as parents, have a lot to do with changing our children's lifestyle so that we have healthy children. So watch out for our next video as she talks more about obesity. Thank you.